Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Duneske, where today we're doing some stuff live because I can. As you can see, the G27 is here because why not? And there's stuff on my bed because I've been tidying my room the last couple of days. Now we're doing this live-ish. Doing this in real time because I've kind of, the mood has gripped me to do something in real time on Duneske. And there are things to be done. As you can see, I do have this road more or less ready. I'm just trying to get the terrain to match up properly, and that's probably going to be this entire video is just me faffing about with terrain. Now, as I mentioned yesterday in the Project Cars video, yes, I do occasionally say important things outside of Farm Sim. Mainly because the news had arrived just before I recorded that video. I am getting fiber optic internet connection. Now, I'm not 100% sure at this point what, if any, changes I'll make. It really depends on the speed and reliability of that connection. So you'll find out very, very soon if changes are being made, because I said yesterday that I wasn't expecting it in until Monday. In fact, plans have changed. Plans had changed. Now this is a couple of days later for me, so you know, got a bit more information on it all. And most importantly, we got a call saying the technician is coming. Technician is coming today for you guys. Today's Wednesday for me, so I'm actually recording quite a bit in advance this week. Tomorrow's video, I have no idea if I'm going to record it tomorrow for me or what, because I'm not recording again tonight. It's 9:20 at present. You can't see my clock. Because, well, my face is covering it. So this is why I hate working on terrain. It's, you click 16 times and then you gotta start over because it just isn't going where you want it to. Okay, let's see if I can get this in properly-ish now. That's about as good as I can get it, I think. Here I want to try and improve it a bit. Can I bring it up there a bit? Yes. That, nope. That section there was not a good idea to try and click inside. There's not a good idea either, so I think I'm running up against the limits of what I can really do there. So let's move on to this section here, and I will have to I'll have to get to work English, please, reasonably quickly and efficiently on this, because there is still a lot to be done. And I was asked today, when do I expect the map to be done? Answer is when it's done. I can't give dates. That's not because I'm trying to hide anything from you guys. As you know, I'm gonna say a bit more transparent than most map authors and most map makers, with Farm Sim anyway, and most developers of any description, in that I'm showing you a reasonable amount of the process. That is just not gonna want to work, is it? Now is it gonna? No, it's just not gonna want to behave at all. Yeah, I am showing quite a reasonable amount of the process, and that's just because, number one, it's easier to record realistically because it's just me sat in front of GE, working away on something that I would have been working on anyway, or like I am now, just kind of podcasting at you. So works well for me. It, it keeps me busy. And more importantly, making videos actually means that I have more time to work on the map, because I'm not working on, editing other maps. There are a few things I still want to do on Nuston, believe it or not. I still want to edit Nuston, but I'm trying to resist the temptation. The big farm I'm not editing at all. That is going to remain vanilla, I guess. That is going to remain the publicly available big farm. Partially because the amount of you guys asking for my Nuston edit is insane. The reason I'm not ever going to give it out, number one, I'm not going to ask Pretorius permission, so I think he's actually quit the community, so I can't ask his permission to release it. Secondly, it's got a ton of bugs and errors, which I would have to fix were I to release them up semi-publicly. And third off, this is going to be my map. I'd prefer to release something that I made, instead of just something that somebody else made and I made a few small and very simple changes to. Now I know one of the most famous maps from 2013 is Chris 7710's Spring Hill edit. Now if I'm not saying they will, I have no idea, I have no insider information here at all. If NModding are bringing out Spring Hill again, I will edit it, and I will see if I can talk to them about releasing the edit somewhere. Not on FSUK, obviously, because they've kind of got exclusivity there, but I will talk to them about giving you guys a Dropbox link or something, and seeing what they think. That's assuming they bring out any kind of Spring Hill for 2015. I know they are bringing out some vehicles, but I wouldn't expect them to be very active, let's put it that way. Especially seeing as the game is kind of coming into twilight of its cycle. FS17 is widely tipped to hit shelves in October, November this year. So why is this sticking up like that? That is ugly and atrocious and awful. There, fixed it. As you can see, my Steam is going off because in chatting to a friend, I've told him that I'm recording, but he seems to have wanted to ignore me. This section here is just not behaving at all. Let's just go a bit nuclear here. Let's see if I can get this to work. So what I want to happen here is oh, now I've gone too far and I've just essentially flattened it. Yes, I have in fact just done that. Oh, wonderful, well done me. That kind of works though, because now I can do something a bit like this, and it's still going to want to do that. Interesting. That said, I think I'm happy with this now, where that is. How about this area here? This can be flattened a small bit more. Well, smoothed a small bit more. My apologies. And I do have terrain detail. I was messing on this up for a while earlier on, so this terrain has been about 3 hours of work so far. Just because I'm trying to get it as close to perfect as I possibly can. It's just not agreeing with me. Okay, so we'll go nuclear in this section here as well, just so that it does behave as much as it can. it's just going to go back to the way it was, isn't it? More or less. Okay, so let's go a bit further up with the nuclear. I call it nuclear. This is just me making big terrain changes in the hopes of making smaller ones in a few moments. This is getting a lot closer to the way that I want it. That's about as good as I can get it, I think. What does it look like at ground level? Right here can be flattened some more. And yeah, here can do with some smoothing. Lovely. And just over here as well. And this nubbin. Let's just get this right up to the edge of the road here again. Sometimes the smooth brush has a bigger effect than you expect. And you just need to do some fine tuning work on areas around it. There we go. So here's a section where it did have a much bigger effect than I had expected, so let's just get this fixed up a bit. There we go. So now for this section, and as you can see I used, well, you can't see, I can tell you I used 0.5 meter segments of road here, so I took the 1 meter segments, scaled down the Z to 0.5 and worked from there. I think it looks okay. I know there's some funky overlapping going on here, but can I fix that? In fact, just by moving these bits. That's actually fixed most of the weird overlapping. Although, as you can see, you will get kind of a disco effect going on over here, unfortunately, and there's not a whole lot I can do about that. How long has this been going on for? 12 minutes, and we're probably about halfway there, so this should be about half an hour's video. Of course, if we're done like 20 minutes, I do have secondary plans that I want to get done today, or that I can get done today. I don't necessarily want to get them done today. If I do manage to move on to them, I'll be very surprised. And I think that I'll tell you what the secondary plans are. The secondary plans are actually to go back up to the end of this road, the other end, and work on the loop, well, the top of the loop here, and then bring it back up to the road over there, and put in a roadway to get into the shop. Well, I think would be the shop area. I might put the shop somewhere else. For all I know right now, this is going to be, this could very easily be the BGA or the main yard or something like that. I'm just kind of laying out the roads so that I know what I have to work with. But there will be, I'm saying this right now and I'm not going to change this promise, there will be full FS15 functionalities, so I'll put in a wood sell point, a log sell point, even a wood chip sell point of some description. No guarantees they'll be the default ones from Farm Sim, but I'll definitely have the triggers in the map. Storage for wood chips will almost definitely not be default storage. Got kind of a plan in mind for that, but not sure. In terms of scripts that I'm going to put on the map, I think you already know. So go down here to foliage layer. I do have chopped straw on the map. I think this works. No. So we got chopped straw on the map. And I'm Well, I'm planning at the moment to throw in soil mod because that's what I play with the most. As well as Seedmaster. I know there's a Seedmaster 2K16 after coming out. That's the placeable version of the Seedmaster. It's on Marhu's website if anybody is interested, but personally I prefer throwing in the actual Seedmaster into a map. It's just personal preference, I guess. Soil mod tanks, which technically isn't a script, but it changes the game up a small bit. So well, so enough that you need to potentially edit course play. Hope that didn't screw up over here too much. Nope. It changes the game up enough that you need to edit course play for it to all work properly with course play. And that's kind of advance warning that you may need to edit course play with this map. You may need to work with it or play with an edited course play XML. I think it's course plays XML that you need to edit. Personally, I don't, because you know how insane I am. I tend not to use course play in soil mod enabled maps, just because it's a bit too much hassle for my liking. I've gone and made a mess here, haven't I? See, what I've done is, I'll explain in a moment. I have scaled this. Where's the thingy? There we go. Come on, there we go. There's a small few messes down here. So the reason this is suddenly so finicky compared to most of the other sections of road is because this is a slope that's been scaled. And the scaling is a bit funky, so unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which way you want to look at it, there's a bit of a bump, and then you go down into the valley there. And the scaling is a bit funky and weird, just because it was the only way that I could get them to get the, there we go. Let's just stretch that out. Be in here then. I'll be clicking away, there we go. That's about as good as I can get that. Little nudge there. And a couple little nudges along here. There we go. I know I'm no Enzo's next with the roads, but I like to think I'm getting at least reasonable. So, short of spending the next 2 hours working on this, which I could very easily do, I don't want to, because that'll screw up my sleeping pattern, and I'm already tired, despite it being 9:37 PM, and I've spent 20 minutes on this video so far. Actually slightly more, because there was a false start where I forgot to turn on push to talk on OBS, which is lovely. There, small bit there. Now we can hopefully get this down a bit. No, where are you? There. Perfect. And this is the whole kind of aim of the terrain modifications I'm doing, is just to get it up as close to the road as I possibly can. Don't know why I'm doing it now again, but why not? Yeah, you guys saw enough before. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna set the brush to terrain detail and nuts 2.950005. I'm just gonna get rid of this section of the field here that's just the tiniest bit too close to the road. I'm also going to smooth that bit out there because it was sticking up into the road. I'm going to do the same over here. Just bring the brush along the edge of the road. Now there's nothing sticking it to the road, so I could very easily, you know, go way off like I just did. But it's very easily fixed. Now for the most part this is based on DEM data, the map. However, it's not 100% true to life. I am making some... Basically I've got the main road and the fields more or less where they are in reality, but I'm just making it a bit more stylized, I guess. Just putting my own spin on reality here. Which really is the point of making a map for Farm Sim. So what I'm going to do now is... That's the section of sugar beet holland that I laid down earlier on, so I am actually going to have to do a bit of tinkering here. So foliage layer, and it's sugar beet holland. And if I just run that over there like that, it should in theory now let me throw down terrain detail again. Was that the entire problem right there? Was that? Yes. I had the wrong brush selected. And that's why you need to be really careful in Giants Editor sometimes. I think, yeah. I'm gonna leave it like that. The tiniest little nudge back there. Tiniest little nudge back. Okay, so I am relatively happy with that now. So what we're going to do now is, I do have nav speed set to 1 just because it is easiest with the roads. Sorry if you can hear noise in the background. My family is apparently after deciding tonight is shouty night, which is lovely. It always seems to happen when I'm recording as they, well, I record at weird times, so I can't predict when I'm going to do it, but it always seems to happen when I'm recording that they start shouting or something happens downstairs that suddenly all of the noise. Okay, so our next section coming up here is we're going to go along here in more, I think I'm going to go with more or less a straight line. I think I can just straight line this, fix the field so that it's straight lines as well, and then that looks like it's going to be more or less a straight line as well. That's all very nice. Do I want to do that today? I'm gonna say no. I think I'm gonna end the video here. Just because I'm tired and I really can't be bothered trying to screw with terrain anymore. I've spent a few hours doing it, and with that section, so I'm gonna save it here so that I don't lose all of this progress. Lovely. And I'm gonna say thank you all very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow on Duneske. And maybe I'll be seeing you a bit more in the future. Who knows? Really depends on the speed of the fibre. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.